So it's like really hot in Thailand, and I'm not yet used to it. And I have some people who suggested that I practice during the nighttime. But I think when I do this, that my schedule is like not as consistent. Sometimes I'll wake up at this time. Sometimes I'll wake up at another time. I have good concentration when I practice, like during the night. But I'm not sure if this is the right way.
Just do whatever you can, whenever you can.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do a lot of practice, you have to become a monk. Then you don't have anything else to do but practice. But if you're still a layman, you have other obligations, you have other things to do, so you won't have much time for practice. So just do whatever you can, but you have to accept the consequence that you probably won't get much from practice. If you want to get a lot of result from practice, then you have to do a lot of practice. And the best way to do this is to become a monk. And you can have all the time to do the practice.
Okay, ขอบคุณนะครับ
First of all, where are you from?
From England.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, I've been practicing meditating for about 10 years now, and last year I felt that I was very close to deciding to become a monk, and I did not do it, and I've continued practicing. My practice has deepened, but I sometimes wonder whether for the time that I am not a monk and I'm in this secular world, is this all just a game that I'm playing, and that really the only real way to embody the Buddhist teachings is to become a monk and to give up these games. And the games that I play in the world, they, sometimes they may seem fun or enjoyable, but is it all just dukkha, and I should just let go of it all?
Yes, you should let go of everything in this world, because everything in this world is not real, and it doesn't bring you true happiness. It will end up in suffering, in sadness, sooner or later. So give up everything and concentrate on your meditation practice. What you get from your meditation is the real happiness. Okay? Get it? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Is that all? Okay. The reason why people became monk because they want to have real happiness, eternal happiness, permanent happiness. That doesn't end in suffering or sadness. That's what you get from meditation practice. 2 levels: concentration meditation and insight meditation. You need both in order to produce this eternal happiness within yourself. Once you get that, then you don't need anything anymore. You can exist without having anything. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I have one question. Sometimes during my meditations, I have these moments, let's say, of clarity, where I see something very clearly, but it seems to be only like on the level of the subconscious mind. And then after the meditation finishes, it seems to have disappeared. I don't know it anymore.
Well, the experience you get from meditation is temporary. It comes and goes. So don't pay attention to them. Let them come and go. Because our goal in meditation is to empty the mind, to make the mind calm and still and peaceful and happy. This will last with us if we keep on doing it. But things that appears in meditation could come and go, and they can be good or bad sometimes, but they're usually not good for our meditation. So So don't pay attention when they appear. Keep focused on your meditation object. If you use your breath, just keep watching your breath. If you use a mantra, just keep reciting the mantra. Whatever appears, don't pay attention to them. Ignore them. Okay. And you're welcome.
Ajahn, I'd like to ask a question, say, the awareness and the consciousness and also the one who knows. Are these three things is one thing?
Well, see, it depends on the translation. Where does the translation come from? What's the original word? In Buddhism, we have the knowing element, which is the mind. And the mind has the ability to know. And it also have the ability to feel, to think, to perceive, and to be able to connect to a body, to receive the 5 sensual objects, such as the sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects. This is the ability of the mind. The mind can also have mindfulness or not have mindfulness. If the mind drifts with the thoughts in the mind, it means the mind has no mindfulness. If it doesn't drift, if it stays fixed, then it has mindfulness. So this is sati. Translates from the word sati, mindfulness. So this is about it. The consciousness of the sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects. This is one of the ability of the mind. It can connect to a body. When the old body dies, the mind will go look for a new body until we connect with a new body. So you get rebirth, and the connection take place at the 5 external organs of the body: the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. Sometimes people call this as consciousness of the sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects. But actually, it's just merely a connector. It brings the sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects from the body to the mind. And it's the mind who is conscious or who knows these images, this sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects. Not the vijnana, not the connector. We have a connector, but the connector doesn't have any awareness or consciousness. It's the mind who is aware, who knows. So you don't have to worry about this thing. All you have to worry about is stress. When the mind has stress, how to get rid of the stress in the mind. That's all. And to get rid of the stress, you have to get rid of the cause of the stress, which are the cravings in the mind. When you crave for something and you don't get what you crave for, you have stress, you have sadness, you have suffering. So if you want to stop this sadness, suffering, stress, you just have to stop your cravings. Okay?
Thank you, Ajahn. When I the reason I ask this is when you say there's a stress, so I can recognize that, be mindful. So when I be mindful, and that I can see that it arises and passes away, so then it stays still. My question is, because the 5 aggregates, there's vijnana, or the consciousness, is also arises, passes away. But there is a awareness that's always there. It never passes away. It's always there. Am I right?
That's the mind. That's the knowing.
That's the knowing mind, the one it knows.
Yeah.
It's always there.
It's always there. It knows the consciousness. It knows the thinking, the feelings.
This is another. It doesn't has. It's neutral. It doesn't has any judgment or anything.
It can be It can be controlled by the defilement to see things differently, to think. So you need wisdom to teach the mind to know what is true and what is not true. It knows, but it doesn't know whether it's good or bad, true or not true. It needs the wisdom to teach it. So that's why we have to study to find out what is true, what is good or bad, and then try to avoid the bad and do the good things.
So when I do meditation, I realize the thoughts arises and the mindfulness is there. So I realize that the thoughts arises, and I can do one A, like I push that away, or I can just aware that arises and passes away. So which way is the correct?
Both ways is wrong. You have to stop the thought by not giving it any attention. You have to focus the mind on something else, like your breath. When you focus on your breath, then you can stop your thinking. But if you keep watching your thinking, you will keep thinking. When you meditate, you want to still your thought. You don't want to keep your thought from thinking all the time. And the way to not to think about it is not to pay attention to it. You should pay attention to something else, like a meditation object, like a mantra or the breath. This will then stop your thoughts. Bring your mind to jhana. If you keep watching your thought, it will not stop.
Sometimes people say this is samatha practice, the other is vipassana. That means that you see things as it is, and the rises, passes away, and the mind still stays still.
You need first samatha before you can go to vipassana. If you cannot make your mind still yet, you cannot go to vipassana and stay still when you see things.
But the mind function is always arises, passes away. Until you see that it never arises, passes away, you reach the end.
Then you are confused. You talk of different things, and you try to combine them into one thing. So you have to know what you're talking about first. If you want to talk about samatha, you want to stop your thought. If you want to do vipassana, you have to understand the nature and let go. Don't be attached to them. In order for you to be able to let go, you have to have samatha first. You have to make your mind still first. When your mind becomes still, then you can let go of everything. But if your mind is not still, it will not let go. It will be attached to things that it comes into contact with. So you have to know what step, where are you at this point? You are running all over the place with so many information. So you become confused and don't know what to do with them. So in practice, you have to do one step at a time. The Buddha first start with mindfulness, then meditation, anapanasati, to get into jhana. Once you have jhana, you can still your mind. Then you can then go on and study the nature of things, of the body, the mind, of the feelings, and let go of them. Let go of your attachment to them. Because by having attachment, you will create dukkha or suffering for the mind. If you don't want to have any suffering or dukkha, you have to let go of them. Let them come and go. You don't have to do anything to them. Good or bad, let them come and let them go.
How can I reach jhana?
Practice mindfulness. As soon as you get up, be mindful. Don't let your mind think about other things. Just be mindful of your body. Keep watching your body. Or you can use the mantra. Be mindful of the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto. As soon as you get up, keep reciting Bhutto all day long. Then you can control your thought. Then you can stop your thought when you meditate. And you can get to jhana that way. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Ajahn. In addition to working with forgiveness towards myself and family members, relatives, how can I work with detachment from my family? I think that's one of the strongest attachment and like self-making I have with identifying as a part of a family. How can I work with that?
You need two things to be able to detach from everything. First, you need to practice meditation, because when you meditate, you forget about everything. So you temporarily detach from them. But after you come out of meditation, when you start to think of them, you start to become attached to them again. Then you need to develop wisdom. Wisdom is to see that everything is temporary. Our relationship with everybody on this earth is just a temporary relationship. Sooner or later, we all will have to go our separate ways. Just try to think of that fact all the time, and it will then enable you to be able to let go. Anicca, everything is temporary. Anatta, you cannot force them to stay with you forever. Sooner or later, they will have to leave you, or you will have to leave them.
Yes. So it's first and foremost.
By being attached to them will only cause you stress and sadness. If you don't want to have any sadness or stress, then just let go of your attachment.
Okay.
Enjoy them while they're still here, but be ready for them to go away, or you to go away from them.
So
And you need to practice meditation. When you feel sad by thinking about this thing, then you should meditate to stop your sadness. And when you come out, you can then have a calm mind to look at the truth. And maybe you will be able to accept the truth eventually. Because by not accepting the truth, you're causing sadness in yourself.
So acceptance of how things are, the nature of things.
That's right.
Yeah.
The three characteristics of existence. Anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ajahn, thank you for your teaching and guidance. So far, my meditation, when it's good, I can go to 1 hour or 2 hours. But sometimes when I sit in front of Lompo with the guided meditation, can go to 3 hours. But I read the book from the Mahabua, is that the Dukkha Vedana, investigation of pain. For deep samadhi, you need to sit like 5-6 hours, then you fight with the pain. Is that everyone have to go through? To sit until 5 hours, 6 hours, and then fight the pain?
For those who want to experience the excruciating pain, you have to sit longer.
Okay.
Because you don't know what kind of pain you're going to get later when you get sick. So if you can practice beforehand and be able to manage the pain, then when you get sick, then you won't have no problem with your pain. But if you feel that you cannot get to that stage, even if you can just pass through the first stage, that's quite adequate. So at least you know how to deal with the pain. Maybe not the intensity, but you use the same method anyway.
Okay. Is
So it's up to you. If you can, it's good. If you cannot, then you can at least you should know how to deal with the pain.
this the steps going into stream entry?
More or less, yes. You have to be able to face the pain without having any dukkha. Because you will look at the pain as being anatta, not yourself.
I see.
The body is not yourself. So the pain that comes from the body is not your pain. And then you can just leave it alone.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
To become a sotapanna, you have to be able to let go of the pain and accept the death of the body.
Thank you.
Not afraid of getting sick or die.
Thank you.
Because it's not you who gets sick or die. It's the body. And the body is not you.
Thank you.
You are the mind. You are the user of the body.
Mm.
So if you can separate the user from the body, then whatever happens to the body will not disturb the mind.
Okay, thank you. My second question is that can we use vipassana to go first and then to reach samadhi? Like looking at the body is not mine, and then
It's harder, but if you can do it, you can do it. There's no rule that says you cannot.
it's
But
harder.
it's much harder than using mindfulness.
It's harder.
To get into samadhi, using mindfulness is easier.
Okay.
All you have to do is concentrate on a mantra.
Okay.
But to use wisdom, vipassana, you have to use the ability to investigate and to separate and find the cause and the effects of things. So that is a bit more difficult. But if you are inclined to with that method, you can use it also.
Yeah. Okay. Sadhu.
So it's up to you. Some people use wisdom to get into samadhi, but very few,
Very few.
exceptional cases.
Okay.
For most people, it's easier just to use mindfulness.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. May you be healthy, long life, and then continue to spread the Dhamma.
You have to ask the body. I'm always healthy and long life, but the body is not under my control.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you. I'm leaving today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
Thank you, Ajahn. See you online.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak English here. In one of your teaching, you mentioned that the more you have, the more suffering you will be. Can you help enlighten me on?
Well, if you have one house, you only have one house to worry about. If you have two houses, then you have double the worry. It also depends on your attachment, how strong your attachment is. The cause of your suffering is really based on your attachment. The stronger your attachment, then the stronger your suffering is. If you don't attach, you're not attached to anything, then you don't have any suffering. So the reason why you have more, because you have more attachment, so you want more. So then you have more attachment, you have more suffering. If you have less attachment, then you will have less. Then you have less suffering.
We do need a house to live, so how much is enough? Is it depend on the individuals?
Yes, it depends on the individual. For the Buddha tell the monk not to have a house, just to live in the forest instead. But you can decide, there are a range of accommodation you can choose from. The least expensive will be the least suffering. The most expensive will be the most suffering, because you have to pay more. Okay, anything else? Maybe มีข้างหลังคนข้างหลัง Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
Can you speak louder, please?
Good afternoon, Ajahn. I would like to ask about the other day. Actually, I'm on Facebook asking the Christians of if, let's say, for meditations, because I tend to on and off tend to delay the meditation practice. So Ajahn did answer my question. If let's say I don't really practice this life, then we suffer after I passed. So that we can maybe Ajahn explains more on that. Because I tend to I try to, but something push me to find excuse not to practice more about the meditations. And before this, I did practice for a few years, 3 years or 4 years. After that, I tend to delay and delay. Don't know why that period of time I keep on delaying, not practicing.
Well, see, the reason why you have to meditate is for you to have happiness
Yeah.
without relying on your body, because your body is not reliable. In the future, it will get old, get sick, and when that time comes, you cannot have any happiness through your body. So you will have a lot of suffering.
Oh.
But if you know how to meditate, you can still have happiness. Even though if your body is sick or dying, you can still have happiness from meditation. Because meditation doesn't rely on your body. Rely on your practice of mindfulness. So try to practice a lot of mindfulness and meditate as much as possible until you can master your meditation. You can tell your mind to be calm, be peaceful anytime you want. Then when you get sick or when you're old or when you're dying, you can still be happy.
Okay, understood.
So that's the reason why we have to meditate. We have to change our type of refuge from depending on the body to depend on the mind itself, to depend on the practice of meditation as the new form of refuge. This is the refuge the Buddha said, Dhammang saranang gacchami. Dhamma is my refuge. The practice of Dhamma will lead to peace and contentment and happiness. The practice of meditation.
I see. Can I ask another question? Ajahn, Ajahn, another one is like, because I heard your Facebook, the talk, question and answer as well. So about mind and heart, another one is like, Ajahn did say that if let's say your mind, because mind is very tricky, they keep on asking you to do something like not make us not mindfulness, then Ajahn said during that time you just say putto 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 to calm down, to not control. I mean just say putto putto putto, then the mind will come back. Or and not really because anything, if let's say, because mind and heart is like different. Sometimes we like, I as a layman, I don't know how to differentiate what is a true one, what is the mind and the heart, what is the truth, or to lead us to the different things. So I just want to know about the...
Well, when you are not happy, it means your mind going on the wrong direction. When you're happy, then it means you are on the right direction.
Okay.
So when your mind becomes unhappy, you have to stop it by using butto, butto, butto to calm your mind down, to stop your mind from thinking. Because if you're thinking, that makes you happy or not happy. When you're thinking about bad things, it makes you feel bad. So you have to stop your thinking. If you know how to use butto, then you can use butto to stop your thinking, and your bad feeling will disappear.
Okay. Okay. Like for example, I encounter one person. She like because I'm in the working world, so when I'm trying to do my work, then I'm settling something. She not happy, then she come and scold me. I feel very not happy when every time it's very serious case. So for me, like I keep on thinking every time I pass that place, so you'll ignore me. I mean, it'll affect my emotions. So how do I? Because every day I'll pass through that road every day like that. So I'll like recalling the incident happened to me that day. So how can I get rid of this thing? And through the practice, I can do putto putto, or how do I?
Well, you can do that when you pass that place. Just don't think about it. Just butto, butto as you pass the place. Then your bad feeling can disappear. Before you get to the place, you start butto, butto, butto. And don't pay attention to the place. Then you just pass it.
And that lady, when see me, she no matter got issue, no issue, she'll like scolding me or something to make me angry, something like that. So I maybe past life is I owe her or whatever, I don't know, but
Yeah.
this thing happened
The
a few
Buddha-
times.
The Buddha said you have to treat everything as anatta, no self. It's just a natural phenomenon, like the sound of the cricket. You know.
Uh,
Can you stop the sound of cricket or not when they cry? You cannot. Yeah. So just learn to live with it. That's all. Accept it.
Okay.
Let she do whatever she wants to do. It doesn't matter because you're still you. What you say or do doesn't really hurt you at all. You're hurting yourself by your dislike of her. That's all.
yeah, that's why.
So you have to tell you to stop disliking, and you have to learn to accept things in this world, which sometimes you like and sometimes you don't like, but you cannot choose them.
Yeah.
They come and go as they like.
Yeah.
So the best way to deal with them is to accept them all when they come, like or dislike. What you dislike, you just tell your mind to not to react by reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. And then you can stop reacting with dislike.
Okay.
Then you don't feel terrible. You don't feel bad.
Okay.
Okay, get it?
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the group like to ask question? Come on in. No more. Okay.
How can a meditator tell the difference between nimitta and delusion? Thank you, Ka.
For most beginners, they are all delusion. So just don't pay attention to them. Real nimitta has to come after you have attained samadhi first. If you haven't yet got to samadhi, all the nimittas you see are all delusional.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
Okay.
Last year, I followed Ajahn Dhamma to his temple during a house visit. After the house visit, Ajahn Dhamma asked me to chant. The patient,
Can you
the
speak
devotee
closer
has.
to the microphone? No, that's not the microphone. The other one, the round one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Ajahn. Last year, during chanting, in the middle of chanting, I feel that there's a heat while I'm chanting. I can see some fire here. I'm not sure what's happening. So it happened twice. The first time both times there's heat, but the first time I can see the light here while chanting. I was chanting Karaniya. The second time is also chanting Karaniya, but I can feel the heat, but without the light. But the skin is feeling very cold because it's in a very cold country. So if this happens again, can Ajahn advise me what to do?
Just ignore it.
Just ignore it.
Yeah, just something can happen when you do meditation or chanting.
Okay.
Sometimes this is a mental reaction.
Okay.
Probably your defilement, your kilesa.
Okay.
So just ignore it. If you can continue chanting, just keep focus on your chanting. And then if they disappear and doesn't bother you anymore, then just treat it as anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay.
Okay. But if they persist, you might have to go ask your doctor if something wrong with your body or not.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Anybody else? Just raise your hand and speak close to the microphone.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
Okay.
My question is how to reduce the stiffness and the tension on the body while meditating.
You need to build up more mindfulness before you meditate. When you don't have enough mindfulness, your defilement will react very strongly. So you have to practice mindfulness before you start meditating. You can do this from the time you get up. As soon as you wake up, you can start reciting Bhutto, 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 and keep doing it while you do your work. You're taking a shower, brushing your teeth, eating, or doing anything. Just keep Bhutto, Bhutto to prevent your mind from thinking aimlessly. Then when you have this, when you meditate, there will not be any negative reaction to your practice.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Ajahn. I would like to ask one question. Even yesterday also,
I was advised that when I get very tired, I can meditate very well. It happened to me a few times. How this thing can be happen and why it can be happen this way? Can Ajahn give me some advice?
Well, sometimes when you are tired, your defilement also becomes tired. So they have less resistance to your practice. So you find it easier for you to practice. But you can also fall asleep also. That can be a drawback. Sometimes when you are too tired, you can also feel drowsy and go to sleep instead.
Ajahn, it's about when I doing a lot of gardening work, and I climb up and then do some grounding, things like that. I go and take bath. I coming back, I can sit very well. I can come very easily.
That's because you have mindfulness. When you work, you are mindful with the work you do.
Yeah.
And you don't think about other things.
Yeah.
So when you meditate, you will find it easier.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So try to be mindful with everything that you do.
Yes.
Don't let your mind go think about other things when you do your work. Just focus, concentrate on your work only.
Yes.
Then you will have strong mindfulness.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you. Sadhu.
No more questions from Malaysia or Singapore? Okay, how about you?
มีทำคำครับสักตวารู้แปลว่าอะไรครับ
Merely knowing. Just merely know. When you see something, just merely know that what you see. Don't react. No reaction. Just know.
ครับผม
สักแต่ว่ารู้ means just know.
ครับผม
Okay.
แล้วก็ถ้าเพลงคิริโอทาพะเป็นภาษาไทยมันแปลว่าอะไรครับ
ฮิริแปลว่าความอาย
ความอาย
โอตตปะคือความกลัว
ความกลัว
กลัวบาป เวลาทำบาปแล้วกลัวจะถูกจับไปลงโทษ ก็จะไม่กล้าทำบาปอายความอายก็เวลาเราทำบาปแล้วเราจะเป็นคนไม่ดีถ้าเราอยากเป็นคนดีเราก็จะไม่กล้าทำบาปเพราะเราอายคนอื่นเขาจะว่าเรา shameful feeling shameful when you do evil things and having fear when you do something bad because you know you will have to pay for what you do. So if you have these two qualities, hiri or tapa, then you will not do any bad karma. Okay?
เข้าใจครับ
So my question is, how does the law of karma work, and how can you prove its validity?
Well, it's hard to prove the law of karma because the one who do the karma is invincible. The one who do the karma is the mind, not the body. The mind tells the body what to do. To go rob a bank or to go give food to somebody, this is karma. Robbing bank is a bad karma. And giving food to people is good karma. So the one who reaps the consequence of the karma is not the body, right? The one who reaps the consequence of the karma is the mind. And what is the consequence? Feeling good or feeling bad. When you rob a bank, you feel bad because you have to try to stay away from the cops. You don't want to get caught. You have worry and anxiety. But when you give food to people who need your help, you feel good and you feel happy. This is the result or the consequence of the karma. It's in your mind, not with the body. But sometimes the body also have to reap the consequence as a collateral consequence. Like if you go rob a bank, you might get caught and your body will have to stay in jail, for instance. So your body is locked up and your mind is feeling bad. So actually we have to look at the mind itself. The feeling that appears after we do a certain action. When we do something good, we feel good. When we do something bad, we will feel bad. That's the law of karma. It concerns the mind, not the body. And this also affects the mind after death, because the mind doesn't die with the body. The mind continues on as a spiritual being. And it can be, if it's happy, it will be in a happy state we call heaven. If it's sad or if it's in turmoil, in anxiety, it's in hell. We call it hell. It's a state of mind after the body dies. This you have to prove it to yourself. You cannot prove it to other people. There's no instrument to measure your mind, but you can have instrument to measure your body. But you can only measure your mind by yourself, by the way how you feel. You feel good or you feel bad. You're sad or you're happy, for instance. And these usually are the consequence of your mind, your action that you do. Okay? Anything else?
Thank you.